Amanda, it's nice to have you back again.
Hi, thank you.
So today I thought we might start off with something a little bit different. It's called the interpersonal model approach, and it's more about communication and how your relationships, if you have a positive relationship, usually you have more positive communications, you know, you feel good when you're talking to that person. A negative relationship would be, you know, when you're getting yelled at and stuff like that, it usually has a negative effect on the relationship. And how you communicate and how you can better communicate, and I'll give you feedback on that as well. So does that make sense for you?
Yes, definitely. It sounds exactly how I feel all the time. Like if somebody yells at me, I feel negative throughout
Exactly, yes. So if you could describe for me a relationship that you would like to work on.
Right now in my life, I would say my stepmother, we've been having a little difficulties in the communication department, and if she gives me like a negative response, I feel very negative. Like she has a very big impact. So I think that's probably like one of the main relationships I would want to work on.
Okay. What is it exactly about that relationship that makes it negative?
I know I've never talked to you about her, but we don't have a lot of history, but when we do have communication, she can tend to be like very narrow-minded. For example, she is very negative about me getting married, and it just affects, like, even though I don't really care, and it's not like she's paying for it or anything, but just the fact that, like, the way she says things to me, like, you know, that I'm too young, and you know, that I'm making a wrong decision, it's going to ruin my life, it can really upset me a lot.
Yeah, that sounds really upsetting. How does it make you feel when she says something like that?
It makes me feel like she's not trying to understand the thing. It's like she's not a part of my life. She lives in a whole different state, but yet she makes like these very narrow-minded judgments on me, and I don't feel like she gives me a chance to even explain myself sometimes. For example, like recently, I had a thing with like Facebook, and I was very upset because I couldn't graduate. Instead of being able to call anybody, I was stuck in class, so I wrote on Facebook kind of an inappropriate language, but it was a way I could express myself and have everybody else understand what's going on. And instead of her asking like the why behind of why I was upset and why I felt the need to use that type of language, she just kind of said that it was inappropriate and that she's ashamed of me and just everything else. And it was just very frustrating because, again, she doesn't seem like she wants to seek out the why part. It's just more of like, you know, judging me on my reaction.
Okay. Well, I noticed when you're communicating, when you start talking about something very painful, you start to look away every which way. Maybe when you're talking with her, she might not be able to tell if you're really serious or if what you're saying, what she's saying is hurting you, especially because you communicate over the phone. That could be a big barrier. And just with anyone else, when you're upset, maybe when you look away, they don't see that what they're saying is hurting you because they don't, you know, they don't see you. Okay, so I see that the situation with your stepmother is very difficult. You're having very mixed feelings about how to communicate with her, correct? Okay, well, I'd like to tell you a little about problem solving. It's just a way of thinking about or kind of brainstorming about all the ideas that you could use that would improve that communication relationship. And you just come up with as many as you can, and then, you know, we'll weigh the pros and cons, and I'll help you choose the best way. Does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea, because I have so many different ideas of how to approach the situation.
Okay, well, start.
Okay. Well, at first it was through an email, like her explaining, well, let's talk like more about the whole Facebook and the way I was upset, and I expressed like in a vulgar way. She had wrote back in a Facebook, and she was just like how ugly my language was and everything. So my first instinct is to respond through the internet. But I feel like if I respond through the internet, like because I have so much anger towards her and the way that she responded, that it could be a very angry email, and I think sometimes the words can be mixed up. So I don't know if that's the best way.
With that one too, I think it would be right after she said it, and you would still be very angry, and it might come across very angry instead of sitting down, thinking about it first, and making sure that you weren't, you know, edging her on.
Okay. Yeah. And so do you think, I think it would be an okay email, but I think you're right. That's why I didn't respond, because I knew it was going to be like very vicious in what I said.
Exactly.
But I feel like sometimes the words aren't my strongest point, and I feel like maybe it would be a little bit better to do it over the phone, just because when I type, sometimes it can come off wrong, even though I'm trying to be nice.
Exactly.
It can come up kind of mean. So I think I should like take out like that solution. Like I think it either should be like verbal where she can understand, and maybe she, like you were saying, like with my communication, that like when I tend to get like really nervous, I get shaky, so she would understand that I am really hurt about it, and that it's not just, you know, I'm an immature person joking about it or whatever. So I think definitely verbalize. I would love to do it in person, but I think in person it's kind of hard because we live so far away. So I think the best way is probably to do it over the phone.
Have you ever thought about maybe doing Skype or like with a webcam or something? Because then you could see the other person and she could see how upset you were, and she could visually and not just verbally.
Yeah, I think that would work. The only thing is like, again, our relationships, we haven't had too many conflicts because we never even talk. Like, I've never even tried to talk to her on the phone. Like, we've never really fought. And when we fought once about the whole engagement with my fiance, it was over the email. So I think definitely the email should be ruled out. But I think maybe I should try the phone, just because it seems really complicated, and it can like prolong the situation if I do through like a webcam, because she has to buy one, I gotta make sure I have one, and then it could get weeks, and then even though I won't forget it, I won't have the same reaction to kind of feel it, you know. So I think maybe I should probably do the phone first and see how that goes, and if it doesn't work, then yes, I should say we should definitely do the visual kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely, because I can see the phone, it could work, but I can also see, you know, problems with that as well, and there's going to be problems with everything. So yeah, definitely I would say before our next meeting next week, if you could go ahead and talk with her over the phone and see if that helps your relationship at all or helps the conflict at all. That would be great. Also, another technique is called an I statement. When you're talking to her, you should say, you know, I feel like this, you know, or I, you know, just use I statements so she knows, you know, exactly clear-cut response of what exactly you're feeling and how it makes you feel and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. That makes more sense. Instead of like attacking her, to be like, you know, I felt really upset the fact that she didn't want to figure out like the why behind the issue. Okay, definitely. I think I attack her more. I'm always like, why did you do that? So I think I would definitely be a good idea.
Exactly, so that she can see your point of view.
Okay.
As well. All right, sounds good?
Thank you. Yes, I would definitely try it this week.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thanks.
We've done previously. It's called the interpersonal model, and what it is just we're really going to talk about communication and that the positive.
It's so loud. It's so loud.
Okay, so we're really going to
stop it and see if you can even hear yourself. No, stop it and then just replay it so you can hear it.
Should I put this on the floor? I really feel like I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, the cheerleader for many years would be fine. Oh, that before.
Okay. Does that sound, you understand?
Yes, I do. Let's say that one part over again. Just like the ending of it, and then edit that out.
But you understand?
It sounded horrible. You understand? Like, it just sounded horrible. Okay.